Hi everyone, this is the Bearded Guitarist. Welcome to this absolute beginner's guitar lesson number 5. So if you watched the previous lessons of this course, you learned your very first 5 chords, A major, A minor, E major and E minor and D major as well. You also learned your very first song on guitar, which is Three Little Birds by Bob Marley, and at least 2 or 3 different strumming patterns. So what we want to do in today's lesson, we want to learn a new, slightly more difficult chord, which is called G major, and it's this one. So in order to play this G major, make sure first that you watch all the other previous lessons. If you haven't yet, you can watch them here. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel as well. So let's have a look at the shape of this chord that we are going to learn, of this G major. So this is the shape. And it's not the only way of playing this. The other way of playing this is this one. Now, as you can hear, the sound is slightly different. Both are still G majors, just different voicings, different positions for the same chord. This is slightly more advanced, and this one could be a more absolute beginner's position. However, I would suggest to learn directly this position, not only because it sounds better and you're going to use it much more often, but also because it helps in order to switch the G major for other chords, so in order to learn chord transitions. So let's start from scratch. Let's see how to build the shape. You start with the first and the second fingers going. First finger, second fret of the A string, and second finger, third fret of the E string. Then together you place the third and the fourth fingers on the third frets of the bottom 2 strings, the B and the E strings, like this. Now, the first thing is just to get the muscle memory of your fingers. So you lift your fingers, you go back and you build your shape as quick as you can. Maybe you strum it once to listen to the sound of this chord, then you release your fingers again and you go back to the same shape. At first, you will probably build the chord in 2 different halves. The top part first and the bottom part then, like this. But then I would suggest with the practice to get as quick as you can the whole shape, so that eventually this will be as one only thing, one big thing, the G major chord. So the other position, what does it change? It basically changes the 2 fingers at the bottom. Rather than using third and fourth fingers, it only uses the third finger on the first string at the bottom, third fret, like this. So since this doesn't involve the little finger, many people prefer to learn this before learning the full position, let's say. Now, it's completely up to you. You can learn this G in this way, but I'm going to show you right now why it's better, probably, at least in my opinion, to learn the G directly in this way. So in order to practice the chord transitions, you want to use the ring finger, so the finger number 3 on the B string, to start learning, for example, the chord transition between G and D, the other chord that you already know if you follow the previous lessons. We used it in a song already, so you should be quite familiar with this already. Now, if you look at the G and then you look at the D, you might think, well, I will have to lift all of my fingers and then build the D from scratch and vice versa from D to G. But actually, the ring finger, so the finger number 3 on the B string 3rd fret, is actually playing the same notes, so you can keep it down without lifting it, use it as an anchor, as a reference, and then go all the way down in order to play your D major, and backwards you keep it down and you go all the way up to play your G. So let's see more in detail the chord change between G and D. So when I play my G, I keep my ring finger down, I move my other fingers, but especially the second finger, from the very top string to the very bottom string. So it moves from the low E string to the high E string, and in this way I get the D. If I want to go back, I keep the ring finger down as well. I go all the way up with 1 and 2, and then I use my little finger to close the position. Now, all this is not possible if you learn the G in this way. So in my opinion, it's better to learn it directly like this. It's gonna help you with the chord changes, especially G to D, which is a very common chord change on guitar. Let's see now a strumming pattern that you might want to use in order to practice the transition between G and D. So first, just start practicing one downstroke on the G, then going to D, playing another downstroke, and all the way back, another downstroke on G. But then if you are more comfortable with this chord change at some point, after a little bit of practice, try to play something like down, 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 up. So 3 downstrokes and 1 down, up at the end, and then you switch to the next chord, like down, 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 up, down, 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 up. Obviously you start very slowly. You count down, down, you think about the D in advance, you prepare your change, you change and you keep playing with your picking hand. It's very important not to stop. If there is something wrong, just keep going. Because what you want to do, you want to keep going in time with your picking hand without getting the bad habit of waiting for the fretting hand to be perfect, to have the perfect chord position before strumming it. Otherwise, you're always going to get this bad habit of being slightly late when you change the chord position. So you want to change the chord position, to force the fretting hand to change the chord position in time, because you keep playing in time with your picking hand. Then if this strumming works, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, you can start working on the dynamics, on the sound of the strokes, and for example, you can play the second stroke of each chord as a single strum, as a little strum on one string only, like 1, so where do I play this little strum? On the G, I play on the E string, because that is where the root note is, like single, and then I continue with down, down, up. On the D, I do it on the open D string, because that's the root note. Obviously, this is only when you're more familiar with the chord transition, when you're comfortable with the strumming pattern. Okay, so let's recap the goals of this lesson number 5. What you want to do, you want to make sure that you know all the previous chords, so make sure that you check out all the other guitar lessons of this course if you haven't yet. Then you learn the G from scratch, training the muscle memory of your fingers, you know, going all together at once as one position, and then you decide whether to play the G in this way or in the easier, more beginner-friendly way. If you do go for my version of 2 fingers at the bottom, then you can start practicing a chord transition between G and D, keeping the ring finger down and adding as a second reference the movement of the second finger between the top string and the very bottom string in this way. If this works, then you can add your rhythm, and the rhythm will be down, 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 up, down, 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 up. We will use this rhythm and we will use these 2 chords in order to play our next song, in order to practice the next chords that we are going to learn in the next lessons of these chords. Alright guys, I hope that this lesson helped you learning the G chord. Make sure that you practice it together with the other chords that you learned already in these chords. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell button to be notified when I release my next lessons. This was The Bearded Guitarist, thanks for watching, I'll be seeing you in the next video.